Aloha, this is Joe again from lovely Manoa Valley. I just want to talk to you a little bit about a platform called Slack. Uh, Almost a couple weeks ago now, I showed you this Monkey Test It, which helps you to test your site for broken links and SEO and things like that. And I mentioned that Monkey Test It is an app that's compatible with Slack, and that in the future I wanted to do a little bit show and tell about Slack. So I Googled Slack here for you, and we know that that means not taut or held tightly, okay? But the Slack app is actually where work happens, okay? So this is I guess what you would call it. It's a social media site for work teams, for teams of people at work. And at first when I came across this, I thought, okay, this is something that you would use perhaps in a company, a small company, a startup, something like that. But then I realized that it's something, there's a lot of uses for it for somebody like me who it's just my wife and I. We have a business, but we do some collaborations with some other people. Yes, Slack does have a free plan. And by the way, I'm not affiliated with Slack in any way. I can't see that they even have an affiliate program. If they do, I might actually be interested. But right now, I am unaffiliated, and I have the free plan, which includes, I guess, 10K of messages and 10 apps. This is kind of what attracted me to Slack in the first place, is these apps like the Monkey Tested that I showed in the other video. They have an app for iOS. I have one. I have it installed on my Android phone. And I also have the Mac application installed on this computer. So you can do voice and video calls between two people with the free one, and up to 5 GB of file storage for your team. You know, a lot more bells and whistles, of course, with the paid accounts. Okay, so why would you want Slack if you're just a solo practitioner? That's a really good question. Well, Slack can do a lot of different things for you. One thing that it's doing for me now is posting Twitter posts. Okay, so I recently uploaded this picture and posted a link to this dolphin tour. Okay. There's an Alertsy bot, which if you give the, it's kind of like a Google alert, right? You can give it some search terms, and it will, whenever there's new news about those terms, like I have Bitcoin and Hawaii as something that interests me, so I put that in there, and I have alerts that will be coming whenever Bitcoin and Hawaii are in the news. Uh, Let me see what else I can show you. Well, what I should show you, I guess, is um, all the different apps that are available, apps and integrations. So here's the directory of apps. There's Alertsy, the one I just mentioned, that gives you some alerts. If you Obviously, this is for teams, right, of people, so they have human resources needs in some of these companies. Most of us have customer support needs, sales. All these are different apps that will help for different aspects of a business. Analytics, uh, file management, SurveyMonkey integration. There's a lot of some familiar names here of things that can be integrated, and some new things. Under travel, for instance, you can integrate with Kayak or Uber. all these other travel type sites and apps. They have some social and fun apps. Jiffy, okay, so there's some things you can have a meme bot to spice out the conversation, right? So there's some wasting time things here too. But for the most part, this is about getting things done. Slack is about getting things done. You can integrate your Google Calendar with your team. You can track your expenses. There's just so many different tools. Lots of these are ideally used as part of a team, but as you can see, there's some things that any small business owner could really use in this Slack. So you'll see that we have a lot of calendars, scheduling assistants, things, apps to help keep track of expenses, lots of things that you might need if you're running your own business. You'll also notice a lot of bots. You know, artificial intelligence is the wave of the future. It's the wave of the present, in fact. And you can get your statistics through Slack with this stats bot that I believe uses Google Analytics and other statistics that you can import directly into Slack. So Slack is kind of like I guess it's the workplace sort of hub for everything that you need, and it's you know, I'm focusing on the bots and the different apps that a solo person can use, but the main thing is really about collaboration. So in a small business, or if you you know, just temporarily collaborate with some freelancer, or you are a freelancer and you're collaborating with a bigger company, you might want to be familiar with how to use Slack to sort of streamline your efforts, whatever it is that you're doing. Another thing that people are using now is they really are using Slack as a social platform. And so there's this list. I will post the link to this particular page. It has a list of all these different communities. You have to actually get an invitation from the communities in order to be part of the conversation on Slack. Or you could start your own community on Slack. That's totally up to you. So people are using Slack in a lot of different ways, and I just wanted to introduce it to you. You know, it's been around for a couple of years. I've heard things about it here and there, but I thought it was time that I check it out for myself, and maybe it's time you check it out for yourself too. I hope this training was helpful to you. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to know about Slack, or any other trainings that you'd like me to provide. Put a comment down below and like the training, and aloha. I'll see you next time.